In these times, when the Church of God is under attack from media and the populace, let us remain steadfast, like Saint Michael, who stood for God and his people at all times. My dear brothers and sisters, today we celebrate the feast of Archangels Michael, Gabriel and Raphael. Pope Gregory the Great teaches that angels are named after their offices or the duties that they perform. Well, each and every archangel has one remarkable quality that gives them their name and makes them unique. Saint Michael, the commander of the angel hosts, he reflects the might of God the Father. The name Michael is a combination of Mi-Ka-El, which means who is like God. When Lucifer, the morning star, sought to usurp the Lord of hosts and be like the Son of Justice, Michael led the charge against him, crying out, "Who is like God?" Letter of Saint Jude chapter 1 verse 9 tells us of Saint Michael fighting the devil for the body of Moses. In Numbers chapter 22 verse 23, he stood before Balaam with a drawn sword to prevent him from journeying to curse Israel. In Joshua chapter 5 verse 14, we see him again with a drawn sword, urging Joshua to take Jericho down. And in Isaiah chapter 37 verse 36, it was Michael who struck down 185,000 Assyrians who had camped against Israel. Archangel Raphael, his name means medicine of God. He reflects the healing touch of Sun, who came to heal our sick souls and bodies. In Tobit chapter 8, we read about Raphael curing the possession of a girl. And similarly in chapter 12, we read about him giving light to the eyes of old Tobias. And in the Gospel of St. John, we hear of an angel stirring up the pool. And the tradition believes that this is also Archangel Raphael. Gabriel's name means strength of God, and he reflects the counsel and revelation of Holy Spirit. He announced to Mary the greatest good news of the Word becoming flesh in Luke chapter 1 verse 26 to 38. He was the one who announced to Zechariah the birth of the harbinger, Saint John the Baptist. And tradition says that Gabriel asked the Magi to flee the Herod tyrant, and he also spoke to Joseph in a dream. My dear brothers and sisters, as we celebrate the Feast of the Archangels, we ought to imbibe the virtues that each of these archangels stand for. In these times when the Church of God is under attack from media and populace, let us remain steadfast like Saint Michael, who stood for God and his people at all times. In this time of flood and calamities, we should strive to bring the healing touch of God to men, like Raphael, and like Gabriel, the herald of good news. Let us try to be joyful preachers of the gospel, as Pope Francis calls us to be.